That's the best news I've heard all week. Come on then, give it to me. Not really. We were never friends, just reluctant business partners. Her problems are hers alone, just like mine are mine. As long as they don't affect our mutual interests. Besides, it's a dangerous business. I know you can't always avoid the risks. Ah, Ness got to you, didn't she? All right. 100 coins should do it, right? And I don't remember asking you to save her. I do remember, though, asking you to bring me this package without any concern for whether Nest is dead or alive. Not happening. Now that I think about it, since you managed to bring that package and Nest decided to ditch me, you might as well help with the next part of the job. My client, you know who, wants the package delivered to a specific place. Once you're there, you'll use these very special arrows I'm about to give you, and shoot the package from a safe distance. Regular arrows won't do the trick, and if you waste them before the job's done, I'll charge you for the next batch. These aren't gifts, they're tools. Oh, come on. What do you think happens when you shoot flaming arrows at a mysterious package? Think for a second. Anyway, whatever opens up in front of you, check it out, and then tell me all about it. If I were you, I wouldn't touch anything. But if something catches your eye, well, maybe nobody will notice. Just make sure to open the passage. What does he care? He pays me to get the job done. How I get it done and whose hands do the work, that's my business. Am I some kind of seer? I have no idea. The captain's my client, not my friend. But if the rumors about him cozying up to the Dalriada tribes are true, you might stumble upon something related to them. Maybe some long-lost artifacts. I haven't got a clue. Personally, I think the captain's just trying to suck up to them. That would be very much like him. Sweet All-Mother, is he still whining about that contract? I want it fair and square. My offer was simply better, and Heffen's crap at negotiating. Besides, if you ask me, it's all just posturing. He might have lost the contract for his family, but for him, it was a clear win. Trading with the Keep in an official capacity. It means I don't just run this stand, I also handle orders from the captain and the quartermaster. It's a good deal, I won't lie, but it requires a lot of running around. I don't have time to twiddle my thumbs and make nice with the locals like Heffen does. Look, Heffen may seem dim, but he's a sly bastard. I'm not saying he lost on purpose, because I doubt that. But he didn't have to slink back to Connacht with his tail between his legs. He's got his little stall in the village, and he lords over it like a bloody king. Grouch that he is, he fits right in with the rest of those old codgers. Plus, he got his family off his back. All in all, I'd say he's doing quite well for himself.
Please, state your business. I can't believe you actually did it. A blade buried in that giant body. I can only imagine what a sight that was. Here, take your reward. And please accept Camelot's official gratitude. You've truly done a great service for the capital. I see that Silent Cilia has finally been shut up for good. She earned that moniker because she liked to silence travelers by slitting their throats. I hope she met the same fate. I wonder what it sounds like when a blade pierces the trachea. Anyway, the reward is yours. You managed to kill Rusty Ardgol? Well, well. A few months back, he supposedly took out a high-ranking red priest. So the big shots of Camelot were eager to see him dead. But it was you who finally pulled it off. And from what I hear, he was a tough bastard, surrounded by a gang of killers. Congratulations, and here's your reward. Do you keep bandits' fingers as trophies? I would. Go, the hunt awaits.
Owen? Yes, he's my best friend. We don't even need words. Heck no. You should have seen Owen 20 years ago. He was sharp as a pin and could get anything done. If you wanted something, you went to Owen, and he always found a way to help you. Politics. What else? Owen survived 3 captains. One was terribly lazy. He just sat there like moss on a log and did jack shit. That frustrated Owen. Then there was another one. He was afraid of everything. So all he did was kiss Camelot's ass. And that blocked Owen's ideas to do something meaningful with his fish shack. And when it was finally Brandon's turn, Owen was already fed up with all this. It's funny, isn't it? First captain who doesn't mind introducing new ideas, and our local revolutionary has given up already. So now he just putters around in his little garden trying to find some peace in the twilight of his life.
Just stay put. Everything will be just fine. And? No, he doesn't. He knows better than that. Ah, look. If I give you something to do, will you stop talking? Here, take some seeds. Find a free plot and grow whatever you want. That'll teach you to appreciate some peace and quiet. Besides, I'm a bit curious to see what will come of it. The less attention, the better. Just another peaceful moment.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. I have to admit that local fauna is not one of my main areas of interest, but I do know the answer to this question, as it is rooted in the history of the Horns of the South. It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily catch was gobbled up by our troublesome coastal neighbors. So the keepers of that time found a very peculiar way to deal with the problem. Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. They made them from feathers and pieces of tanned pigskin sewn together. The reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps their peculiar shape reminded them of a natural predator? Do you mean the document with information about the course, weather, position, and speed of the ship as well as all of the stops and other occurrences kept by the captain or the first mate. More specifically, the document from the bridge of the Andraste, which sank tragically in nearby waters in the year 513. Indeed, we have it. Please wait here. Here it is, though I doubt those records will tell you anything, since the weirdness surrounding Avalon made sailing impossible. The knowledge of the precepts of navigation has been forgotten. Oh, no, we know that. You should have mentioned that you're looking for the wreck of the Andraste rather than the logbook. Every keeper knows that the Andraste was swallowed by the ocean. It's near what's currently known as Smuggler's Bay. Here, I'll mark it on your map. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South, from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. No, we don't, and I'd ask for a modicum of respect for the legacy of the first keeper, and for our museum. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sewell's boots, and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them.
Of course it's interesting. I don't understand how it could not be. It is part of our history, our cultural heritage. But I digress.
The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. The edges are decorated with the motifs of Camelot, a crown and a bear. However, those ornaments are of visibly low quality. That detail, and the fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day, leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion, and that it was finished by a person unfamiliar with this kind of craft, perhaps a blacksmith or an armorer. I'd rather you refrained from inappropriate, childish comments. Now, where were we? Yes. The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone, with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from.